Welcome everyone to our Bhagavad Gita group. Begin with some prayers to our spiritual masters. Namaste Shri Bhakti Vidai Gaudvanyai Shrimurti Prema Bhakti Rasamade Param Vijay Pravinaha Nam Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Vicharni Nivasesha Shinvadi Pastita Dishtani Ma Vishnu Paraya Radhika Pradne Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Tinamani Shri Shri Devi Goswami Raja Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Agyanatimananda Shaganandana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. So, Lord Chaitanya came, the golden avatar, to introduce this Sankirtan Yoga. Sankirtan Yoga. Yoga means to act for the pleasure of the Supreme, Yoga. And what is pleasing to Krishna in this age especially is this Harinam Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy names. So if Krishna is pleased, we're pleased. That's how it works. We cannot be pleased, we cannot be happy, we cannot be satisfied unless Krishna is satisfied. This is a scientific spiritual fact. And there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, the third chapter, where Krishna says, Yagyartat karmano nyatra lokayam karma bandhana tadartam karma konteya mukta sangha saramachara, which translates, one's endeavors should arise out of a spirit of sacrifice and devotion to the all-pervasive Supreme Divine Person. Action performed for other reasons binds one to the wheel of birth and death. My dear Kunteya, please perfect within yourself the spirit of acting only for the pleasure of the Supreme, as such a spirit constitutes in itself full liberation. So, to act with the spirit of sacrifice and devotion to the Supreme Person, this is the basis of love, that I'm acting for the pleasure of my beloved Krishna, what is pleasing to him. No consideration of anything else. This is required. No separate agenda. No, 100%. I am Krishna's. I belong to Krishna. I'm his. And my natural life is to act for his pleasure. That is the sane existence. Insane existence is to think I have some separate interest besides pleasing Krishna. That is insanity. It is not reality. And so Lord Chaitanya came and said, in this age, this dark age, Kali Yuga, the only way, actually there's a very specific injunction that there's no other way. That verse is there, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam. Naste, naste, naste means they repeat it 3 times. There's no other way to please Krishna, to perform yajna, than to perform this Harinam Sankirtan. So we should have faith in that there's no other way, no other way. And that means that we take to the chanting of the holy names as our only business. And of course, this has many, many benefits. Many, many benefits. It restores us to our natural life, our natural, normal, happy life, without anxiety. Without anxiety. Life with Krishna means no anxiety. Life forgetful of Krishna means anxiety. It's a fact. You cannot change that. Life remembering Krishna is life without anxiety. Life forgetful of Krishna means anxiety. This is a spiritual law. So we need to theoretically at least accept that, and then realize that. Realize that to forget Krishna means anxiety. No matter what other schemes and dreams you've got. If you forget Krishna, you're inviting anxiety, illusion. Why? Because I am the eternal servant of Krishna. I don't have any other business than serving Krishna. If I think that I do, that's madness. Illusion. And illusion means suffering. So, this is the amazing thing, is that we're individual souls with the capacity to choose. Free will. Yeah? We're very amazing creatures. And we have this capacity to choose. And Krishna is doing his best all the time to influence us and say, you need to choose me. This is good for you. Of course, we're stubborn and fickle, and we've been like that for many lifetimes. But we're fortunate that we've come to hear about Krishna now, and we want to hear more about him, like that. We see the benefit of hearing about Krishna, surrendering to Krishna. This is wonderful. This is glorious. This means that our dark days in this material world are coming to an end. They're coming to an end. By the grace of Krishna, they're coming to an end. Because we're surrendering. It's like that. Krishna says like that, as you surrender to me, I reward you accordingly. And how does he reward us? He takes us out of this ocean of birth and death. Wow. Who else can do that? Only Krishna can do that. So, this is the Lord of Love. He is wanting to bestow his mercy on us all the time. But you have to be available and receptive. Yeah? You can close the door. He'll keep knocking, but you can close the door. But better we surrender. Better we surrender and realize that it's perfect. There's nothing lacking in Krishna consciousness. Everything is there, complete. Because Krishna is perfect and complete. Therefore, relationship with Krishna is perfect and complete. In every respect, fully satisfying. The more we get realization of that, then the less we will be inclined to go elsewhere. Give our attention, our energy. Just like it's a greeting between devotees. When you leave a devotee, when you say goodbye, you say, Krishna matirastu, which means, may your attention be on Krishna. It's the greatest blessing. May your attention be on Krishna. Our attention. It's the most valuable thing we have, isn't it? Who are you giving your attention to? We have attention, we always have it, but what are we doing with it? Who are we directing it? What are we directing it to? Only it should be Krishna. Krishna matir astu. May your attention be on Krishna. Now that is perfect. Yeah? So, of course, in this age we realize that chanting the holy names is the perfect way to keep our attention on Krishna. Nam, Rupa, Guna, Lila. So the beginning stage is Nam. Not that it ever stops, but this is how we come to realize that if I want to be with God, with Krishna, He's there in His name. If I give my attention to the name, then I can realize that Krishna is always with me. How nice is that? Nothing nicer than that. So we'll chant the Gauranga mantra. Sigaranga Jai Gauranga Gauranga Sigaranga Jai Gauranga Gauranga Sigaranga Jai Gauranga Gauranga Nam Sigaranga Jai Gauranga Gauranga Nam Sigaranga Jai Gauranga Gauranga Nam Sigaranga Jai Sigaranga Jai Gauranga Gauranga Nam 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 Sigaranga Jai So mellow, so mellow. We're all going to be very, very chilled, as this golden age progresses. People are going to get very, very chilled. No more stress, no more anxiety, no more worry. Just bliss. Just the bliss. Which is our natural life. It's actually our natural life. We've just been through a nightmare, though, of this material existence, but that's coming to an end by the grace of Lord Chaitanya. The dark days are over. The sun is rising. George Harrison wrote that song, Here Comes the Sun. Did you ever heard about that song? He said that's Krishna. He actually said that. He didn't say it in the song, but you should read about the song, and he said like that, here comes the sun, here comes Krishna. Yeah.
Okay, I was under the impression that we were singing about Prabhupada.
No,
Krishna.
He said, the Krishna sun, the ice is slowly melting. Here comes the sun. Yeah. So we're going to read from Bhagavad Gita chapter, and then we can hear more about the sweet pastimes of the Lord. This is the 6th chapter, Divine Communion through Prayer and Contemplation. The all-knowing Lord continued, those who serve out of a sense of sacred obligation and not out of a desire for payment are genuine renunciates, sincere seekers of truth. However, this cannot be said of those who culture complete inaction and will undergo no sacrifice for my sake. No one can come to know full communion with me without first turning away from mental cravings. Genuine renunciation is a fundamental characteristic of pure devotional service. For those who are novices on the way towards communion with me, active engagement in the purifying practice of divine service is said to be the means for attaining perfection. Those perfect servants who have already attained to deep communion with me are seen to be ever tranquil and blessed. A person may be said to be in full communion with me when the tendency to respond slavishly to mental stimuli has been overcome, when self-motivated action has been given up, and sensory demands transcended. One must consciously arrange for one's deliverance and not unconsciously fall into degradation. The mind may either act as our great ally or our deadly enemy. For those who have achieved self-mastery, the mind is like a pleasant friend, but those who have failed to do so appear to be living with a treacherous enemy. Indeed, they become enemies to their very selves. The fully realized souls, having attained the summit of self-mastery, live in deep communion with the Supreme Person, caring not for heat and cold, happiness and misery, prestige or disrepute. Self-satisfied with the attainment of the divine wisdom which comes through self-mastery, absorbed in the sublime and precious truth, the saints see gold to be no different from stone. Those who are far advanced naturally show love to both saints and sinners, wish well to both friends and foes, and seek to act as peacemakers amongst the belligerents. Those who seek such perfection should retire to a secluded place for prayer and become absorbed in continuous devotion, carefully guarding the consciousness to keep it free from false attractions and exploitative tendencies. Having found an appropriate sitting place in some pure and holy land, they should sit comfortably, after first laying down a grass mat and a cloth, and then with single-pointed attention, they should balance the mind, absorb the consciousness, and in this way purify the heart. Keeping their bodies straight, with their heads erect, they should remain still and free their eyes from distraction. With peaceful and happy minds, undisturbed by fears, firmly continent and resolved, they should absorb full consciousness in me, making me the ultimate goal of life. The saints who constantly practice in this way quickly make friendship with their minds, come to taste the peace which lies beyond all suffering, and finally come to live with me. Communion with me can best be maintained by those who neither eat nor fast to excess, sleep to excess, or too often keep a night vigil. The middle way should be followed in matters of diet, exercise, works, and rest, as such practice will help one to overcome all suffering. Those souls who have learned to discipline consciousness and remain fixed in transcendence, beyond the force of sense desire, may be said to be true adepts. Just as a flame, sheltered from the breeze, burns bright and steady, so shines the consciousness of the saints absorbed in full communion with me. Arriving at the plane of pure consciousness, wherein the practice of divine service has brought about self-restraint, they gain a position to relish the complete satisfaction which comes from seeing the true self. Solidly reposed in the Supreme Truth, their connection with the universe comes through transcendental senses, through which they taste infinite pleasure and a holy joy. Upon reaching such a platform, the self-realized souls conclude that there remain no more goals worthy of achievement. Being so deeply absorbed in divine communion, they know no agitation, even in the face of severe difficulties. Such steady absorption in divine service should be understood as the only remedy for the miseries which arise from mundane connection. Divine service should be practiced with confidence and in a clear consciousness of communion with me. Completely transcending the force of the sense desires generated by mental stimuli, one should use the mind as a regulator over the sensory movements. Progress should be gradual, stage by stage, and full conviction must be achieved by reasoned intelligence. At last the mind will always graze in the pasturing grounds of the eternal homeland, the realm of supreme truth and beauty, and will never wander elsewhere. Wherever the mind wanders through impetuosity and intemperate habit, it must certainly be brought back and placed under the shelter of the divine herdsman. By absorbing their minds in full consciousness of me, my divine servants experience transcendental pleasure of the highest order. With passions calmed, they achieve freedom from blame and come to perceive the Supreme Divine Person face to face. By continuous engagement on the sacred path of service, the self-realized souls are completely cleansed of all worldly pollution, and coming to know the Supreme Truth personally, they relish the highest ambrosia of divine life. Souls in full communion with me see me seated in the hearts of all, and realize that all souls also dwell in my heart. True saints cannot help but see me everywhere. Those who perceive my presence in all places and see all things in relationship to me are never deprived of my shelter, nor ever forgotten by me. My divine servants see in truth that I am the one who dwells within the hearts of all, and thus they remain fully devoted to me in all circumstances. True saints love all souls as if they were their very selves, and understand their joys and sorrows. Arjuna then responded, O destroyer of the demons of doubt, the path towards divine communion which you have pointed out appears to be beyond the power of my restless and flickering mind to follow, for the mind is indisputably unstable, easily agitated, powerful and obdurate. My dear Krishna, I think it would be easier to calm a gale than to tame it. The Blessed Lord thereupon replied, There is no doubt, my Madhyam Kunteya, that it is very hard to bring tranquility to the stormy mind, but success will come in the end by continuous practice and total dedication. Failure to tame the mind will place communion with me out of reach, but it is my conviction that those who learn to properly supervise the mind's activities by adopting appropriate spiritual techniques are certain to achieve success. Then Arjuna asked, What becomes of a faithful soul who, after taking up the divine way, allows the mind to be deviated and thus fails to achieve the perfection of divine communion? Does not such a person lose everything like a cloud when it bursts, having no more a place in this world, and yet unable to follow the road laid down by the Supreme Person? Such souls have turned their backs on material success, but have no hope for liberation. This is my uncertainty, and I beg you to do away with it entirely. I shall find no one apart from you, my dear Krishna, who has the power to resolve this doubt, because you alone are all-knowing. The all-attractive Lord then said, My dear child of Pritha, those who take up the path of auspicious action shall never come to an evil destination, either in this world or in the hereafter. Goodness can only beget goodness. Deviated from the purely spiritual path, the immature aspirants will enter the subtle planes of celestial enjoyment, which are populated by devout souls who have performed volumes of pious deeds. After many years there, they will take birth again in happy families of holy and aristocratic parents. Alternatively, they may be fortunate enough to take birth in a family of my devoted servants, who are always enthused by love for me, A birth such as this is a rare and precious opportunity. Having gained such a favorable birth, their consciousness of divine service is reawoken, and taking up from where they left off, they strive again to reach the perfection of love, O valiant son of the Kurus. By dint of prenatal experience, they are drawn intuitively to inquire about the way of divine communion, and rise quickly above the detailed injunctions of the scriptures. Those who endeavour sincerely attain a consciousness purified of all pollution, and because of the efforts of their many previous births, they are able to quickly achieve the highest goal of light. Those who seek communion with me are higher order than the ascetics, the scholars, and the selfish workers. You must therefore always strive for such communion, my beloved Arjuna. It is my conviction that of all those who seek me, those ever faithful souls, who always live in love with me, continuously seeing me in the core of their hearts, and always worshipping me by engagement in selfless divine service, attain to the deepest levels of communion with me, and are the best amongst all souls. So, the 6th chapter, Divine Communion through Prayer and Contemplation. So, our real purpose in focusing on Krishna consciousness is to awaken our loving relationship with Krishna. So all of these practices that are given to us by the Guru, the spiritual master, are there to actually encourage us to be regular in our practices. We need to be regular. Our devotion to Krishna is our life. It's our real life. So we have to take advantage of these instructions. These instructions are given to us in order to correct us, because we've been on a path which has not been successful. We've been on a path which has kept us in the darkest of ignorance. We have been subjected to the most terrifying experience of material life, lifetime after lifetime. So we've unfortunately made some bad choices. We've made a lot of bad choices. And the essential choice is either to choose Krishna or not to choose Krishna. So we, unfortunately, for a long time have not chosen Krishna. And the spiritual master comes and says, take shelter of me, you're in bad shape, you're not in good shape, you're in a very dangerous position. You've come to your senses now, that's good. You've realized you're in a dangerous position. This is step one. You've realized that. And now take shelter of me. Take shelter of me. What does that mean? That means that we surrender to the Guru. That doesn't mean that we just go to him like some consultant, yeah? And get an opinion here and a little bit of advice there and then move on. No. Surrender to Guru is not like anything in this material world. There's no experience. There's no relationship in this material world that is like surrender of the disciple to the Guru. It is completely beyond this material world. So it will be like no other relationship you've ever had. Why? Because it's about complete surrender. Unconditional complete surrender, without any doubt, like that. This is what's required. Of course, we don't come in the beginning with that kind of attitude or that kind of mood. We've got all kinds of doubts and reservations, yeah? We sometimes see him as an ordinary person, like that. We criticize him, possibly, like that. But if we hear about the great saints and their lives and their devotion to their spiritual masters, we will see that this relationship is not anything material whatsoever. It is completely beyond our experience. That relationship is so pure and so loving and so selfless that it's not like any material relationship. So it's amazing. It's amazing. And the more we begin to appreciate that, the more we wake up. we wake up to our real life, because our real life depends on our relationship with Guru. We cannot jump over Guru's head to Krishna, no way. We stay at the feet of our lotus, of our Gurudev forever. That's eternal, like that. So, Prabhupada also made, there was on Facebook, he said, if you try to love Krishna, you will gradually realize how much he loves you. So we don't realize. This is our great misfortune. We do not realize how much Krishna loves us. We do not realize how much the Guru loves us. We do not realize that. That's our great misfortune, like that. But somehow or other, on the positive side, we are inclined now to look in that direction and say, hey, relationships we need. Nobody can say, I don't need relationships. I am completely beyond the need for a relationship, like that. Yeah, I'm an island. No. Nobody can say like that. No, it's solitary. Yeah, I'm in solitary existence forever and ever. No. We need relationships. And happy are those souls who begin to understand that the perfection of relationships begins with the spiritual master. He will teach you everything about relationships. Sambandha. This divine transcendental relationship is unlike anything of this material world. Actually, we don't want anything from this material world. We've had enough of the pains and the frustrations and the cheating and the letdowns of this material world. That's what material relationships are all about. So we're done with that. We want beautiful, ecstatic, loving relationships, but we keep on banging our heads in this material world. So does that mean we give up on love? No, we do not give up on love. But we need to know how to channel that loving energy, and to whom. We need to know that. Beyond doubt. Yeah? What does that mean? It means that you come to the stage where you give yourself completely to Gurudev. You don't give a little bit here, a little bit there. No. I am all yours, Gurudev. I am your servant, your eternal loving servant. Please engage me in your eternal loving service, like that. This is perfection. This is the perfection of love. And of course, that love will go to Krishna, and that example is there. If you water the root of the tree, your love goes to the whole creation perfectly. And Krishna is the root of existence. So, your desire to love is perfect when you love Krishna by loving the Gurudev. Because then you can really love all other souls. Just like, if you want to water each leaf on the tree, is that going to work? Is that going to nourish each leaf? No. The energy, the nourishment comes through the root. It doesn't come through watering the... So the same thing, we can connect in this world. Oh, I've got a friend, I've got a lover, I've got a husband, I've got a... Yeah? Let me love. No way. You cannot love like that. That's the watering the leaf. It will not work. You will not satisfy yourself nor your partner. Why? Because Krishna is the beloved of all souls. Fact. Krishna is the beloved of all souls. You cannot leave him out of the equation. He's the beloved of all souls. And when you do give your love to him, then automatically you find that I'm loving others perfectly as well. All others. This is love. We need to learn that. We need to learn that. We need to learn it deep, deep in the heart, you know. It needs to be heartfelt, not just in the books. And this is what Guru comes to teach us. He says, you want love? I'll teach you about love. Priti Dharma. Mahaprabhu came to give us Priti Dharma. Priti means love. Dharma means the way of love. This is not some sentimental movement, huh? No, this is the real thing. This is the real love. Not the imitation, the commercial version, yeah? You want love? Good. That's good. Go to Guru Dev. He will teach you about the real thing. Yeah? So that's exciting. That's very exciting. Of course it has a price. What's that price? You've got to give your whole heart. Whole heart. Surrender. Utter surrender is required. If you've got any reservations, yeah, about whether Krishna is my beloved, this is ignorance. It's a symptom of ignorance, you see. So gradually, it's gradual. It's gradual. When we come to that point, where like the Mahatma, the Uttama Adhikari, the first class devotee, Premanjana charita bhakti valochanena santa sadeva hridayeshu valokyanti. He's seeing Krishna face to face all the time. Why? Because his eyes are smeared with the ointment of love. That's the qualification. So he's madly in love with Krishna. He's not holding back in any way. He doesn't have any reservations or conditions. No. Atmanivedanam, full self-surrender. He's so happy. He's called the blissful embodiment of Krishna's mercy. He's blissful. Why? Because he's fully surrendered. Nothing holding back, no reservations, no doubts. He's madly in love with Krishna, the beloved of all souls. And he comes here and says, this will make you happy. Take this from me, bhakti. Take this bhakti. I will teach you the ways of love. This is Gurudev. So he's not just some scholar quoting verses, you know. No. He's a heart man. You want to know about love? The real thing, he'll teach you. So, the path of devotion, what a wonderful thing, you know. So this spiritual life is not something dry and academic. No way. It's about your love, your heart, your soul. Your life, because that's our life. Just like in Gita, Krishna says, to realize that the supreme law of life is pure love. There you go. And as Sridhar Maharaj says, when love awakens, the function of the brain retires. How about that? When love awakens, the function of the brain retires. So our real life is the heart life, the love life, yeah? But not the cheap imitation of this material world. No, sir. It don't work. You want the real thing, do you? Yes, sir. Come with me, Gurudev says, come with me. I'll take you to Vrindavan. The real thing, like that. So we're on the way. We're on the way. We're very blessed. We're very fortunate. There's one prayer that we say in the morning, the different prayers. One of them is Smrite sakala kalyan bhajanam yatra jayate purusham tamajam nijam rajami sharanam. I take shelter of Lord Hari. He was the unborn eternal Supreme Personality of Godhead. Upon remembering him, a reservoir of auspiciousness is produced. Upon remembering him, a reservoir of auspiciousness is produced. Yeah? So the material world means we don't remember him. No, sir. We've got lots of other stuff on our minds. But in the spiritual world, they cannot think of anything else except Krishna. It's a fact. They literally cannot think of anything else except Krishna. Why? Because they're madly in love with it. So we rather go there. We rather be there. Yeah? The world of remembrance of Krishna. So there's some awesome verses I want to read tonight about those who love Krishna. What's their life like? Who are they? What do they feel? This is a wonderful little book called Sri Vraj Vilas Stava by Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. So Lord Chaitanya, when he comes, he has his associates, and these 6 Goswamis, very intimate associates of the Lord, and one of them is Raghunath Das Goswami. So he's an authority about love in the spiritual world. So he's given us this description. He knows what's going on there, firsthand. So he's given us some verses we can read, and so we'll read a few of them. May we always be protected by Nanda Maharaj's younger brother, Sananda, whose complexion is golden and whose beard is black, who is tender, generous and affectionate, who is deeply devoted to his older brother's feet, who is the father of Sunanda Gopi, who is the master of a great herd of buffalo, and who worships his nephew Madhava, Krishna, with every breath, and pleases him by giving him palatable dishes made with buffalo yogurt. Upananda's son Subhadra is dark-complexioned, youthful, handsome, intelligent and mild-natured. He is the best of astrologers and more learned than even Brahaspati. Always at the left side of the king of Vraj, he gives good advice for protecting Krishna, who is millions of times more dear to him than his own life. With great love I offer pranam unto Subhadra. Frightened that the delicate Krishna may be hurt by the demons, Ambika performed severe austerities for many days to please goddess Parvati. Satisfied, Devi granted her a heroic son who was able to kill many demons. May Sri Krishna's wet nurse Ambika, whose mind is always absorbed in maternal affection for him, protect us. Saying, "Where are the demons? With ease I shall shorten their lives." Vijay, the son of Krishna's wet nurse, calls so loudly that his roaring voice causes millions of spiritual universes to crack. What to speak of the demons, who are the most insignificant of living beings. Out of maternal affection for Krishna, Ambika instructed her son Vijay to always stay near little Krishna to protect him. I worship Vijay, the son of Krishna's wet nurse. Bhaguri Muni, the learned chief priest of Rajpur, is the shelter of the personified Vedas, who pray to him for some small service to Sri Nandanandan, Krishna. Daily, while touching every part of Sri Krishna Murari's body, he ceremoniously recites mantras to Bhagavan Narayan for the protection of each of the child's limbs. And daily he smells and kisses Krishna's head while offering him many benedictions. I bow down and offer pranam to the king of all sages, Bhaguri Muni. I fully take shelter of Krishna's constant companion, Sri Dama, who never leaves Krishna for an instant, who is the object of Krishna's profuse love, who is the most skillful and clever of the Sakhas, whose complexion is dark, who is proud that his qualities, age, clothing and handsome features closely resemble those of Krishna, and who trembles with anxiety if he cannot see his friend for even a single moment. I offer pranam unto Subal, the embodiment of very concentrated and ever-fresh Anurag, who adores Krishna, the moon of Gokul, so much that when they are separated at night, he weeps and prays to the moon for morning to come, so that he can be with Krishna again. And when sleeping, even in his dreams, he is playing with his friend and never lets go of his hand. His heart is overwhelmed in prema, remembering how his friend Krishna enjoys the greatest happiness when meeting with Srimati Radhika, and he is bathing in a cascade of her pranaya. Indeed, Subal lives for this. Gathering together all the hundreds and thousands of cows scattered here and there, Krishna's cowherd boyfriends take great delight as they move along and playfully pulling each other by the arm, grabbing Krishna's palm and reading the lines of his fortune, and joking about Krishna's meeting with his beloved. They have not a scent of Aishwarya Bhav, awe and reverence, in their hearts. The mud of awe and reverence has been completely washed away by the water from the ocean of their pure mood of friendship. I take shelter of these friends of Krishna, who are decorated with all the apparel of cowherders, like horns and sticks, who have placed their hearts, lives, knowledge, and their everything as an offering at Krishna's lotus feet. So these descriptions are not just poetry, yeah? These are factual. These are the eternal associates of Krishna, his friends and his the cowherd maidens, cowherd boys, his father, his uncle, his brother, his grandfather. These are real eternal associates of the Lord, who are completely in love with Krishna. So they are eternally liberated. They are eternally in the spiritual world. They never come to the material world in the sense that we do because we forget Krishna. They may come here, but they are never, at any moment, forgetful of Krishna. So by associating with them, how do we do that? We hear about them, yeah? These moods can awaken in our hearts. The proof of it is that we'll want to hear these descriptions, we'll read them, we find them interesting, yeah? Rather than read the You magazine, yeah? So our attention is going that way. There's something special about it, like that, which is beginning to wake up in our hearts. And this is the process, this is the bhakti process, that if you hear from someone who's got bhakti, the bhakti will awaken in your heart too. Prabhupada says like that, it's just that it's our natural condition to love Krishna, but we've fallen into illusion. It's a diseased condition, but it can be purified like that. And when it's purified, we're relieved of all our troubles, you know? Because our troubles are there because of forgetfulness of Krishna. You don't read descriptions of these great associates of Krishna having difficulty. No. They're completely, madly and happily in love with Krishna. They're fully satisfied, you know, eternally. So, this is our real life. And it's worth working for. It's worth working for. Of course, it takes work, as Krishna said in this chapter. Constant practice, total dedication. That's what's required. There's a price. Yeah? We have to be dedicated. Not part-timers. No, sir. Full-timers, like that. The more we get that mood, that, you know, this is where it's at. I've been looking and I've been looking and I've been looking for millions of lifetimes, but this is where it's at. This is where it's at. This Krishna consciousness is where it's at. This is the real thing. Let me stay on the path. Focus, yeah? And how are we going to do that? Only by staying connected with those that are on the path. Yeah, no other way. You cannot go it alone on the spiritual path, for sure. So we should take advantage of any kind of association that is Krishna conscious, whether it's online, books, lectures, whatever. And of course, close, friendships if we have them. But this is the most valuable thing. Without that, we're out on the ocean. So we can chant the holy names now.
Question.
Yeah.
Krishna's eternal friends, his associates who reside with him in Goloka Vrindavan, are they aware he's Bhagavan? Are they aware?
No. Not at all. It just said that they describe that mood of awe and reverence as mud. It's like mud. Yeah? They've completely washed clean of that mud. Krishna doesn't appreciate that. So in the Damodar prayers as well, that we recite in the month of Damodar, awe and reverence is not attractive to Krishna. Bow down. No. So these great eternal associates of the Lord, Raganuga Bhakti, have no conception that Krishna is God whatsoever. No. He's their friend. Yeah? It's like they'll Krishna's in the morning, he's lying in bed. They'll come into the room and they'll start bouncing on the bed and jumping up. Krishna, get up, we've got to go and herd the cows. So there's no awe and reverence. He's not God. No, he's not God, he's Krishna, he's my friend. Yeah? So this is the beautiful arrangement of Yogamaya. Yogamaya has that. Not only do the devotees have no conception that Krishna is God, but Krishna himself forgets that he's God sometimes. Yeah? Because then the reciprocation can be more sweet. Yeah? Even when Mother Yashoda, she sees all the universe, there's a pastime where Krishna's playing with the card boys, and then one of the card boys come to Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, Krishna's been eating dirt. He's been eating dirt. Really? No, really? He's been eating dirt. Krishna, come here. The boys tell me you've been eating dirt. No, mother, I haven't been eating dirt, I promise. Open your mouth, Krishna. Let me see. And he opens his mouth, and inside his mouth, Mother Yashoda sees all the universes. All the universes, huh? Countless universes in Krishna's mouth, and she doesn't know what this is. What is this? Yeah? But she never thinks that he's God. No, was there some magic, something? No. But she never ever thinks that he's God. He's a little boy.
My little Krishna.
Yeah. So this is the amazing thing, that even when Krishna's lifting up Govardhan Hill on his little finger, the cowboys are thinking, let's go and put a stick there under the mountain just to help Krishna hold up the mountain, He's just a little boy. Let's help him. This is the beauty of Vrindavan, that nobody thinking that Krishna is God. How wonderful is that? So everything is perfect there. Everything is perfect, That's why this perfection of love is realization that the supreme beloved of all souls is Krishna. He's able to fully satisfy every single soul in a deep, loving, intimate relationship. And everybody thinks that Krishna's, even like the gopis when they're dancing in the Ras Leela, they're thinking Krishna's only dancing with me. Only dancing with me, like that. So this possessiveness is part of the development of love, that I get to the stage where I'm feeling very possessive about Krishna. I don't want to share Krishna with anyone. No. He's mine. Like that. So these are very wonderful, transcendental emotions, which of course come gradually in their own time, but deeply, deeply satisfying. Srila Maharaj talks, Srila Narayan Maharaj, that we cannot imagine the oceans of joy in the spiritual world. You can't imagine how joyful it is, how blissful it is. And what's the basis of that is love. Ecstatic, loving relationship. The ecstasy comes from love. Love is the most ecstatic thing, but not in any sense material. Nothing like we've ever experienced. It's a completely new experience that we're heading for, on our way for, and we get attracted. Little bit, we get attracted. Let me hear more about this. This is different. This is amazing. Yeah, this is Krishna, because the name Krishna means all attractive. He has the capacity to attract every soul. He's Bhagavan. He has 6 opulences. He's unlimitedly wealthy, strength, wealth, beauty, knowledge, fame, knowledge, renunciation. Unlimited qualities that are attractive. So he attracts everyone. Like that. That's Krishna. And he's a person. He's a person. And the day will come when we forget that he's God. Wow. How about that, huh? So, anyway, we can't conceive of what the gifts are that we've been given by Guru and Krishna. But if we just keep our head down and steady with the practices and humble with the practices, Krishna will reveal. Just like Prabhupada, there was a quote, I put it on Facebook, probably you saw it, that with our limited brain, we can't understand Krishna, who is unlimited. With the limited cannot comprehend the unlimited. How's it possible? It's not possible. Our brain can only function in 3 dimensions. This is 4-dimensional. So how will it happen? How will you get to know and love Krishna? Only by His grace. His grace, yeah. Prabhupada says like this chanting is not automatic, Hare Krishna, I'll now become a lover of God. No, it's not mechanical. You can chant thousands and thousands of rounds. But if you're not getting grace, no progress, like that. And we even hear of these rare cases where people are not even performing the regular practices of bhakti. They get perfection. Why? It's called nitya kripa siddha. That they get perfection by kripa, by mercy from Guru or Krishna. Special cases. Of course, it doesn't happen often. So everything is by the grace of Guru. And not that our progress is automatic. I'll chant my rounds, then automatically I'll become a pure devotee. No way! Depends on the grace.
Surrender.
Krishna pleased? It's personal. Is Krishna pleased with me? Yeah? It's not mechanical. So we should have that conception always, that I'm always begging the grace of Guru and Krishna, like their mercy. Just like that prayer we say, your mercy is all that I'm made of. So that mood's required, that I'll get up, I'll do my best today to follow the regular principles and the standards of bhakti. I'll do my best, but the rest's up to Krishna and Guru, as to how they deal with me. I can't demand. Yeah, I did my rounds and this and that, so now give me bhakti. No way. It don't work like that. This is the mood of surrender. Surrender means, Lord, you do with me as you like. I wish to remain your servant. I wish to remain engaged in your service, no matter how you deal with me. That's a very high platform. You may handle me roughly with your embrace, but I remain your servant. How about that? This is selfless service. So we can chant a little bit Hare Krishna now.